To Ecuador now, where voting is taking place under tight security in runoff presidential elections. People are choosing between the incumbent center-right candidate and his left-wing challenger. The ballot comes as the South American country struggles with unemployment and cocaine-fueled gang violence.
Nearly 14 million Ecuadorians are voting to decide who will lead the Andean nation through its worst crisis in half a century. The poll comes against a background of widespread violence tied to the trafficking of cocaine produced in neighbouring Colombia and Peru. The centre-right incumbent, Daniel Noboa, won a special election in 2023 to complete his predecessor's term, and he's seeking a full 4-year term. The 37-year-old heir to a banana industry fortune, Noboa has campaigned on his crackdown on drug cartels that have turned what was once one of Latin America's most peaceful countries into one of its most violent.
We continue for that new Ecuador. We continue fighting for that country that only moves forward. A country that cannot return to the past. A country that cannot bring back the bad habits of old politics.
Early in his term in 2023, a notorious gang leader escaped from prison. Days later, gunmen stormed a major TV station and took the staff hostage. His leftist rival, Luisa Gonzalez, has campaigned on the slogan, "Revitalize Ecuador." She has long-standing ties to Ecuador's left-wing former president, Rafael Correa, who was forced into exile over corruption charges.
Let's go together, hand in hand with me, towards definitive change and bringing order to this country, with security, with jobs, with social justice. May God bless Ecuador.
With hours to go before the runoff, Ecuador declared a state of emergency in 7 of its 24 provinces, including capital Quito, saying it was needed to fight a spike in killings. Security has been tight during the election campaign, trying to avoid a repeat of the 2023 election when a leading candidate was assassinated. In the first round, Noboa won 44.17% of the vote, and Gonzalez close behind with 44%. For now, the outcome is too close to call.
For more on this, let's bring in DW correspondent Filippo Abondano in Quito. Felipe, as we just heard, security has been tight during the election campaign. Talk to us about the climate there. How worried are people about potential violence?
Hello, Michael. Well, yes, it's a big day for Ecuador. They are going to decide who is going to be the president of the country. Security is good at the moment. You can see a lot of militia or policemen in the voting places. This is common for Ecuador, but it's not common for the region. Yesterday, the president, Daniel Noboa, announced a state of emergency decree that affected 7 parts of the country. This affected the environment of these elections. And you can also see that people are starting to come to vote. We are expecting a calm election today, besides the security risks that are still happening in the country.
Voters are choosing between a center-right incumbent and a left-wing challenger. How would you explain the extremely close polling numbers?
Well, the explanation is because nobody is happy with the other candidates. They are voting against Noboa or they are voting against Luisa Gonzalez. The government of Noboa is just a year and a half in the run. It's expecting a re-election today, but it promised a lot of fighting crime, but this hasn't been delivered. So people are looking at Luisa Gonzalez as the alternative, but they have the reference of the past government of Rafael Correa. She comes from the same party. So they believe that if she gets elected, they are going to receive the same that they received when Rafael Correa was president. It was a great economical moment for the country, but then some corruption cases started. So they are worried about the future of the country if Luisa Gonzalez wins.
Understood. Felipe, tell us, what are the most pressing issues that are going to be on the next president's desk, whoever that may be?
Well, the main issue is security. The murder rate is really high. 2025 is going to be one of the bloodiest years of the country history. They are fighting against narco traffic gangs that are really strong. They are really strong in the north of the country and on Guayaquil, the coast, because they are trying to establish some routes to take out cocaine from the country that is coming from Colombia. So security is one of the priorities, is one of the big problems of the country, but you also have to take into account that over the last year, Ecuador had a lot of blackouts because of poor infrastructure. It affected a lot the economy. So they are also looking for solutions in that matter.
Many thanks. DW correspondent Filippo Abandano in Quito there.